Hey Riblets, it's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. I'm here doing my live, just like I announced. Doing my live today. I'm gonna have special guest Alia English. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I didn't mean to. Um, so she doesn't look like she's here right yet. I just sent her the link to her email. Um, just in case. But so I don't know how anybody's doing today, and um, here she is.
We're live?
How you doing,
Okay.
Ellie?
Good, how are you? Is this weird?
It's okay. I don't think many people. I see like three people in the chat in the thing. Oh, Kat's here. That's cool. Hey, Kat. How you doing? Um, so I think it ends up that Rick is on with Juliet at the same time. So there might be a little bit of a battle of who's going to come on my show and who's going to go on her show. So it's all good, things happen like that. Obviously, you probably dealt with that before too, you know. So, so we're actually live right now. So, yeah, I know I didn't fix my hair either. So,
Oh
um,
god. It's probably
yeah.
got hate in it. I had totally I was like for some reason thinking this was next week. So
uh,
like I do write stuff down on my calendar, but like the me actually checking my calendar is a whole nother subject. So I was
yeah,
glad
it's like the first
you
step is
texted
good.
that
You
in the
got to do
group
the
chat or
second
else I would
step.
have
Yeah.
totally forgotten. I mean, I would have been home and been able to do it anyways, but at least I had time to like gather myself and like clean the
Yeah.
house a little bit beforehand.
Well,
Uh,
I'm glad you're on here. I do appreciate this. Um, and everything. I appreciate when. Granny Boo is here too. So we got Cat and Granny Boo. So Granny Cat.
Yay!
So yes, and I'm sure other people will join in. But I mean, Rick is a little bit more popular than I am. I have to admit that. But you know, he's well loved. But I think we're pretty well loved too. So I know that it won't be too long that they go back and forth at the very least. But worst case scenario, they watch the replay, right? So
Yeah.
so you're only 16, right? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Hmm.
Wow. I admire all the young ones because I'm going to be 53 on Saturday, and if I knew at your age what I know now, I probably would never have had all the stuff that has happened to me in my life. So I sort of admire all the young ones, because of that reason, and I feel that you have seen the picture way before most people have, So that being said, if you don't mind, I'm going to just put the camera to you, or at least the mic to you. And if any questions come up, I'll try to put them in the chat. I do this on my phone because I'm waiting for a computer that will help me do this a lot better, but it just hasn't come in yet. And so if I can get it to go on the screen, the questions, and if you just see the screen, then if you want to answer them right away, that's fine. But if I can't and I just put my finger up, that just means give me a couple seconds and I'll ask you the question for them. All right? Okay. So I'm going to give the mic to you, and I'll let you tell your story.
Okay. Hi everybody. I'm Aaliyah. As Thomas already said, I'm 16, and I started carnivore out of pure desperation, one shall say. When I was a toddler, and then I later on got diagnosed with chronic migraines by a specialist down in Columbia, South Carolina. That's a couple hours away from where I live. I'm super close to Charlotte, so if anybody wants to plan a Charlotte area meetup, please email me, DM me on Instagram, literally anything, because Christopher Brandolin told me that if I could find 15 people, that we could get this thing done. So I need 15 people who will come to Charlotte for a meetup. Second to that, when I was 14, I also got diagnosed with endometriosis after experiencing a lot of endometriosis symptoms on a random day, and they just never went away. It was everything all at once. It was like almost all of the symptoms. Just one random day decided that they wanted to claim me as their next victim, which is really bad. I also struggled a lot with mental health. I have ADHD. I'm not diagnosed with that, but if anybody's met me, they're like, yeah, she's definitely got ADHD, maybe a little autism. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. And I still sometimes struggle with anxiety, especially if I drink caffeine. If I drink caffeine, I will have a panic attack, and it's something more recent that I've noticed, because if I drink coffee, like caffeinated coffee every day, it doesn't happen. But if I take coffee out, add it back in, it's bad. I tried using yerba mate instead of coffee, and it was actually worse with the yerba mate. So I still kind of struggle a little bit with like mental health as far as like anxiety goes. Like I would like to figure out what my other triggers are, but like coffee is the biggest one for me. I can do decaf perfectly fine. I can even do half caffeinated and half decaf. I just can't do full caffeine without having like heart palpitations, and just like I'll be driving and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, like the whole time. It's so bad. And I used to struggle with that like on a daily basis, like just always worrying about everything. And then I used to just not mentally be okay. No. I am a girl. I am 16, and there are many days where I cry and I don't know why I'm crying. But at least I'm not like mental about it. Like I don't if you've never experienced that just like need to cry and like you don't know why. Like some days how it used to be was just I was so sad. Now like I'll cry for maybe like a minute or two and be like, "Oh, I feel better." And apparently crying does help release oxytocin and dopamine anyways. So good thing, bad things? I don't know. Which one is it? And yeah, carnivore for me, it reversed my endometriosis like 95%. It helped me learn, more about nutrition. It took a while for me to get rid of my chronic migraines, but when I did Lion Diet, because I did Lion Diet for 50 days, that's when I stopped having chronic migraines. It wasn't normal carnivore that did that for me. It did decrease them significantly, but something about doing Lion Diet made my migraines better, and then they haven't really come back since. Now, it's not to say I haven't gotten a migraine since. I just haven't had a random one that wasn't triggered by something. If I drink too much coffee, that will trigger a migraine. If I'm dehydrated, it'll trigger a migraine. If I don't get sunlight during the day, it'll trigger a migraine. If I don't get enough sleep, if I get too much sleep, it'll trigger a migraine. So there's probably more going on to why I have migraines. Definitely a root cause issue that I need to fix. But at least I know how to avoid getting them, right? Not eating processed food, not eating sugar, not drinking excess amounts of coffee or caffeine, not eating too late at night. That can also be a trigger for me because it keeps me awake. Going to sleep on time, waking up on time. If I do go to sleep late, it's better for me to wake up same time than try and sleep in, because that gives me a migraine. And then, not sleeping in. So a lot of people just need to learn their bodies. And then for me, my endometriosis is kind of in a weird spot right now. I'm not going to really talk about it till I really know what's going on, but there are some things happening that actually may end up being a good thing that are presenting as a bad thing. And until I have more information on what's really happening, I don't want to disclose it. Just for, I don't know. I don't want to say something wrong and then screw something up and then somebody followed my advice and then it just be awful advice. So, I'm in talks with some hormone specialists, and we're going to see, in a couple months what's really going on with my endometriosis, whether it's gotten better, whether it's maybe healing, and this is what I'll say, it's possible detoxing, which is odd. But we really don't know completely what's going on because there's no research done on healing endometriosis. There's, nothing. And I'd really like to just like write a whole book on this, but I need to learn more about women's hormones first because my word and my slang and the way I talk, it'll sound like complete gibberish to 95% of people. So yeah, that's what I do. I experiment. I talk a lot about stuff that most people don't find entertaining, and then on top of me having written a book about carnivore and the teen stuff, in light of recent things that have happened in America, I've also started to come out more as like a Christian, which I've always been, but you know, things happen in life and people change and people's, you know, lives change like drastically. And yeah, it's just made me realize that who am I if I don't share my faith? And even if you agree, you don't agree, like it's who I am and it's part of my carnivore journey because I felt like it was a God led journey, like it would not have happened without, you know, God. And even if you don't believe that, like it's still part of my story. So yeah, that's basically all. You know, I'm really scatterbrained today. Um, I'm sorry if this is like all over the place. Like my ADHD today has just been god awful. And you know, some days it is. And I don't think carnivore is a cure for ADHD. A lot of people say it is. I think it makes it worse. My ADHD is worse by a lot because I'm not tired. So my brain actually works. So then my ADHD is like in hyper focus, like hyper mode. So for some people, yeah, it probably makes it better, but for me, like it does make it worse, quite to where I'm trying to do like 12 projects at once and have literally no idea how to do anything because I'm jumping from thing to thing, and it just it's a lot. I have a lot of passion and a lot of, you know, like ideas that I want to get done, and for me, it's almost too much, and that used to cause me anxiety. Now it doesn't cause me anxiety because I feel like I'm capable. That to say, my ADHD has not gotten better. I still want to do 12 projects at once. And I still totally forgot about like 4 bags of groceries today at the grocery store, and like that attendant lady was like, "Oh my god, ma'am, you forgot all this." I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you," because that was like $50 worth of stuff, and I would have just walked out without it. Like, it was hilarious.
Well,
Yeah, and
celebrating,
I
right?
don't. Do you have any questions? I'm like all over the place right now, so I need
I
like some
know
direction.
you're doing fine. Nobody's really asked any questions as of yet. I don't really have questions per se. I just have more like I guess thoughts you could say they are. I actually, when I was a kid, I actually tried writing a book myself, and I know you just finished a book. I think it's Carnivore for Teens or something like that.
Mhm.
I haven't read it. I'm not going to make you think I read the book, you know. But I for one, you know, I admire you because I never finished what I started. My book was more science fiction. Matter of fact, that's what the name of this channel is based on. Is actually the book. But I never finished it because the people in my life, there was just some people in my life that I was very close to, but they sort of convinced me that I was crazy for doing it and that I would fail. So I kind of believed them, you know. And I do want to go back to it again. So I admire you because you, again, at your age, you finished something that it's not easy to write a book, you know. I mean, just trying to get your thoughts on the paper and everything is difficult. And you know, mine was not that. Mine was hard, but mine was mostly made up as science fiction. So you know, it's like try proving me wrong, you know.
Okay, I'll add on to this. With
Okay.
the science fiction, the sci-fi fantasy, like I'm really big into fantasy. Like, I don't talk about it a lot because what I'm into is not everybody's cup of tea, and then they're coming on here for carnivore, and like me talking about like Rebecca Yarros or like something, or you know George R. Martin is like totally out of their literature. So
Right.
I kind of keep that to myself, and then I get so busy. Like it's probably been a couple months since I finished a book, which is crazy for me because I used to finish like a book every 3 days when I didn't have much to do. And I've written 3 fantasy novels about 75% through each. So yes, finishing the book is the hard part for me. The writing comes easy, the editing is easy, the getting the words on a page is easy. Outlining for me is easy. It's the being consistent with it that's hard for me. Like
Right.
once I sit down and start writing, like I get into this fantasy like mode of like what's going on in my head so easily, and then it's just trying to do that like once a week, every other day, like whatever my schedule needs to be. It's just so hard for me to stick with that, and that was the hardest part about writing, long novels. For my carnivore diet book, that book probably took me less than a week, start to finish. Because when I sit down, like I just, I think writing only took me a day. But then obviously I had to go through and edit and cite sources and, well, actually, I don't think I cited any sources through the book, but I had to make sure, things were said properly and, actually scientific evidence and not just something I thought about. And that was what took longer. And then formatting took forever. And hold on. So somebody in the comments said, not sure if there's a connection, but I rarely ever get a headache at all since I did a parasite cleanse with ivermectin. I only started taking it for inflammation, knee pain went away. I want you to comment again at some point. If you were doing carnivore, then taking ivermectin, and then the knee pain went away, or if you were doing a different diet and taking ivermectin, because I'm really interested in that. I've taken ivermectin before, and I noticed no difference other than it gave me, like, diarrhea for, like, 8 days. And on top of that, I was, like, terribly sick. Like, it was so bad. And I might have had food poisoning because I ate watermelon that week, too. I'm not sure if it was from the watermelon or the ivermectin.
Okay.
Okay, you can
Yeah,
talk now. Sorry.
if you could answer the question with Lee in the thing. I mean, he also says when weight loss stalled for a while, started carnivore, lost 30 pounds in the first 2 months, bought new pants and new shirt to fit me. LOL, cheat meal. That doesn't really answer your question, though. That's just the
No,
last
I
thing.
think yeah, I'll answer if you've been carnivore before ivermectin or not. So, for the stalling, yes, cheat meals are probably one of the worst things you can do if you want to lose weight on carnivore.
Right.
Because every time you cheat, you're gaining back water weight, you're gaining back inflammation. How many times can you do this before your body? Okay, so the longer you're on carnivore, the less inflammation you have. When you have inflammation, your body holds on to it for longer on carnivore because there is less to dispose of. So, how do I put this in different terms that make more sense? So when your body has so much inflammation on a standard American diet, it's always cycling through inflammation, cycling through whatever toxins are in your body, and it's constantly coming out of your urine. Well, when you have less inflammation in your body doesn't have the need to expel so much at once. So it's kind of like Sally Norton's oxalate theory. Like, if you keep in just a little bit of oxalates, your body's not going to dump it. So if you're going to have cheat meals, don't go out and eat McDonald's and sugar and processed food. Eat something that's not too far off. And it's like, it's kind of stupid going carnivore and then having a cheat meal because essentially you're reintroducing foods and your body's going to have a big shock. And Michaela Peterson, from her Lyme diet experience, one introduction for one food, for one pea-sized amount of food, can take up to 6 weeks to show symptoms. Up to 6 weeks. So one cheat meal could have lasting results for 6 weeks. So I want people to really think about that before they have a cheat meal. I'm not saying that you can't have a cheat meal, but be more conscious about what you're having. Are you having, like, asparagus? Are you having, like, homemade keto ice cream? Are you having, like, something that you know all the ingredients in that if you react to it, well, now you know this is a problem for me. Instead of being, like, McDonald's or Taco Bell or Pizza Hut, whatever. And I was the person who had a lot of cheat meals, so I would know personally how long those effects last for.
Okay. Well, he's answered the question. I've been on carnivore for over 2 years. Only just looked into the ivermectin. I'm sorry if I don't know what that is. You do know what it is, but I never heard of it. This past summer, you must drink a lot of water when taking it. I only do a small dab once a day.
So
So,
ivermectin is in a tube. It's in a syringe, and it's ivermectin. And then a lot of people take apple flavored. It's a horse parasite. It's a horse dewormer, not a horse parasite cleanser. A horse dewormer. So for
okay.
horses, they take the whole tube. For people, you only need like a pea-sized amount. And some people say take that twice a day. Some people say take it once, and then some people say take it with a binder like activated charcoal. Um, for me, I'm like, why would you take a binder if the horses don't need to take a binder, right? But I would like to do the ivermectin again. The first time I did, I've done it twice. First time I did it, I was like deathly ill, and I took it because I was deathly ill. Like I had something happen, even still carnivore, to where I had like insane food poisoning. It's coming back to me now what had happened. I'd eaten something that wasn't like carnivore, but it wasn't like McDonald's. I think it was like a piece of watermelon. No, that was afterwards. I was had eaten something or gotten bitten by something or something happened and it just screwed up my whole autoimmune system. So it'd been like 2 weeks and I was like, oh my god, what is wrong? So I was like, maybe I have parasites. I took the parasite cleanse and it made it worse, but on top of that, I could not tolerate any food. So I was trying to figure out what foods I could tolerate to eat because I was not tolerating meat at all. So I tried watermelon, and watermelon just screwed me up so bad. I could tolerate bananas, and I think that was about it. So yeah, it was weird. It was like I was fasting most of the way through it. I couldn't do bone like I really could not eat anything without making it 100 times worse. So I personally, this is my theory on parasites. I think parasites are a good thing. If you have parasites, they decrease your toxin load. They're not adding toxins into your body. They're actually helping absorb them and digesting them. People only get parasites because there's something wrong with their gut, right? If I were to go have a fully healthy gut microbiome that is completely optimal and eat a raw piece of pork that had parasites in it, I would be completely fine. My gut bacteria would effectively kill the parasites and cleanse them out of my system. I learned this through a lot of raw carnivores and their own science experiments and the research they've done. So obviously, I may not be completely right. Parasites do help decrease the toxin load. If you're eating sugars, if you're eating processed foods, if you're eating wheat, grains, all this stuff is very inflammatory to your body. So one way your body helps decrease this toxin load is by coexisting with parasites. And the parasites will eat the toxins as well and help digest them. That way, there's less load on your direct intestines. Um, it's kind of gross to think about. Oh, but you also think about like the sharks and they have these little fish that like clean their teeth or it's some fish that has little fish that clean their teeth, right? It's the same kind of idea. Or it's like a pleco in like a pond, it's eating the algae, right? Like it's just cleaning yourself. And then when you are finally healthy enough to digest your own food without a toxin load, your body will naturally kill and pass the parasites. So instead of taking ivermectin, what I've noticed is just to coexist with them, and then when my gut microbiome is healthy enough to be able to survive without them, they will pass on their own. Not everybody has that same opinion, but it's it is what it is. A lot of people get overruled with parasites. When you have too many, that's a problem. But when you have a right amount that's balanced, it's not a problem. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure most people are gonna look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, let's coexist with parasites. But yeah,
To join the club. Yeah. Um, so, Ricky put in the thing to do your own research. Join groups and ask. I absolutely agree with that, Ricky. I mean, we should never, you know, I would say that to anything. Like don't just listen to one person. Listen to a bunch of people. And learn from that. That's how we're going to learn is by doing the research. And if we're really interested in something and something really, you know, um, that goes. I hate to say this, but that goes for your doctor too. If he tells you something, he or she, don't just go by their word alone. Do the research. If there's something that you're not sure about, do the research on it. You know.
Yes. My question is with the ivermectin for these people who are taking it for inflammation, whatever, is do you really want to be buying this every couple weeks, taking it every day for the rest of your life? Right? Nobody wants to do that. At least me personally, because that stuff is disgusting. And
It's
even for horses, they only take it twice or once a year. So ideally, if you were to do this, it would be once or twice a year in the fall and in the spring. I'm pretty sure that's when we do it. And then on top of that, what's causing the inflammation to cause the joint pain that the ivermectin is getting it to go away? Because for me, all the ivermectin was doing was just like flushing out my system and getting rid of parasites. So is it cleansing the parasites or is it cleansing something else as well? That's what we need to kind of figure out. I don't know. You'd have to do that your own research, but
Yep.
yeah, people will apply it like topically. But then, ivermectin is if it's anti-inflammatory, well what's causing it to be anti-inflammatory, Accutane is also anti-inflammatory. It decreases inflammation throughout your whole body, decreasing inflammation. Well, is Accutane good for you? Not at all, right? So you also have to think that, is this stuff actually good for you in the sense of, other than the fact it just decreases inflammation? You have to look at everything else. And just because something is safe for livestock use does not mean that it's good for livestock use. The horse and animal and vet pharmaceuticals is going towards the same direction as regular human pharmaceuticals. So trusting that is just as hard for me as trusting anything else.
Yeah.
Kat said we rotate horse dewormer, however, they are in theory re-inoculating themselves with parasites constantly. I suppose it depends on what you're trying to accomplish taking it. Well, also, horses are not meant to live on grassy plains like fields. They're not meant to eat food. They're not meant to eat, horse food.
Right.
So horses, their natural diet is like dry grasses, like desert grasses. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you look at BLM Mustangs, like outside Arizona, like in Arizona, in those like HMAs up there, they're all eating like long fibrous strings of dried grassy grass plains. Wait, plains are like dried. Okay, I'm not really sure what terminology to use here, but
I,
like
it,
dried
they're not
grasses, right?
cool.
Not like wheats, not like hayfield grasses, not like green grass. It's like the ugly colored grass that grows like this tall and is like sparse. That's what their natural diet is.
Okay.
Not like sugary grass. So, if your horses are out in pasture and they're eating sugary grass all day, well, that's not their natural diet. Their microbiome is not optimal. Therefore, they have parasites. That's just how I feel about it as a horse person, and of course everybody else has different opinions, but for hundreds and hundreds of years people have kept horses and not dewormed them.
Right. So what? Horses don't eat hay, or they do eat hay.
No, horses eat, so like a natural horse environment, like optimal horse environment, horses now are put out on pasture because it's easier for them to just eat grass all day, so you ain't gotta feed them. But then the horses can get just eating grass, right? Which a lot of people think is like a horse diet. Eating regular green grass, like the grass that grows in your lawn, can give horses insulin resistance. It can give horses diabetes. It can make them founder. It can cause like GI tract upset. There's a lot of issues. And then a lot of horses have what we call PSSM. I don't know what the spelled out of that is. I'm not sure. PSSM is a genetic trait, and both parents have to be a carrier for it to affect the horse. But if you're a carrier, you can still get symptoms. It's kind of weird. It's like, well, they both have to be a carrier, but they really don't both have to be a carrier to get some symptoms. And one of the big things about PSSM is if this horse eats too much sugar in the form of grass, in the form of sweet feed, crack corn, oats, whatever, too much, their muscle seize up. So it could be their arm muscle, their leg muscle, or more importantly, it could be their heart or lungs. So just thinking about this, like it's really common in BLM Mustangs to have this disease, which is like the wild horses, whatever you want to call them, and it's really common in quarter horses. Which, yeah, it is what it is. So grass is not their natural environment. What is their natural environment is long fibers. Like think about like flax. Well, do you know what flax looks like? Like growing flax.
I know of flax, but I never really looked at the actual.
So flax is like this tall plant that grows upwards, and it's got little tiny leaves all on it. And I'm not saying that flax is what horses should eat. I'm just kind of explaining, you know. And then flax grows in a pretty warm and hot environment. But if it were to dry out, it would be tall but tan, and it would be less sugars. When it dries out, the sugars ferment and kind of metabolize themselves, and they kind of become less sugary. So that's why like hay is better for horses than grass. It's hard to explain if you've never like been a horse person before. Like it doesn't make sense because like, you're like, hey, it's just dried grass, but it's really not. Um. So yeah, that's what they would be eating is like dried grasses, like in deserts that don't have so much water in them. And the water is what makes it more sugary too.
Okay.
It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. Like I'm not like the horse person to be explaining this honestly because
Well, you're more of a horse person than I am. That's definitely sure.
like maybe Kat has something to add because she has horses, but
Yeah. And we have a few other people that joined in. We have Sandy Blythe. She joined us, and Bill Cook joined us, and so did Terry from My Terrific Life also joined us. So welcome, guys. Thank you for coming. Um, I think we're both excited to see you. Uh, so I'm trying to think of questions I might have. I'm not very much. Even when I'm in chats, I don't really ask very many good questions. Because I kind of figure that no one's going to answer them anyway. So I just kind of. So let me see. Um, so far, Ricky Lee is actually the winner of talking the most. And Kat says something. I haven't looked into infernexin anti-inflammatory action. I would think that type of utilization would be much different than for treating parasites. Okay.
yes, that's what I'm thinking too. Because if you're using it for anti-inflammatory, you're taking it almost every day, and then you're also like destroying your gut microbiome by doing that every day. Therefore, you're becoming dependent on it.
Right. And Ricky
So
Lee, he says, I suppose you have to be careful because if you're getting it for horses, then I expect the standards for the product may not be up to par with FDA specs.
he's
Okay.
completely right, but also like the FDA specs is not good either. Like you're probably better off taking homemade ivermectin from the crazy crackhead down the road than taking the pharmaceutical one. Yeah,
And
I'm not
Kat,
either, Kat. Like
yeah,
I'm just kind of stating how I feel and the routes my brain is taking when people say I take ivermectin every day, and what my concerns would be for it, and how like my brain kind of theorizes that and finds answers to it. I'm not an expert on it either, but that's just how my brain works. But
And
yeah, like
I don't know if you mentioned it before, but what led you to taking this medication, especially
me.
like every day? Yeah. Well, you're on
Okay.
my show, so yeah.
Well, I had gotten some kind of food poisoning or like something that had like screwed up my whole body, and I was sick for like weeks.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me figure out. And I was like, okay, I work with horses. I work on a farm. I have a farm. I'm very bad at washing my hands. Oh, I probably have parasites, right? So I take the ivermectin, and it made things worse. And then I stopped taking it after like 3 days. And I still have like awful food poisoning. So then I go back to taking it a couple weeks later, and I had relatively new symptoms, but yeah, like it didn't do much for me, but I was already in a compromised immune state and it made it worse. So for me, if you look at the science of how most of these things work, and I'm not sure about ivermectin in particular, but like parasitics, things that get rid of stuff, it's making okay. It's the same with birth control, right? Birth control makes your uterus a toxic environment, so that when an egg, an ovum gets fertilized, it can't survive there, so it dies. Right? That's why birth control works. It makes your uterus such a toxic environment that a fetus cannot survive in it. Same with the ivermectin. It makes your stomach so toxic. And I'm not sure about ivermectin, so don't quote me on this. But for my research, parasitic stuff that cleanses parasites makes that environment so toxic that the parasites can't survive and flushes them out. That would be why I would be concerned about taking ivermectin daily. Maybe twice a year for purposes, but daily, like I would want more research that's not funded by ivermectin to show me that it works. You know? And of course, if you feel good doing it, don't listen to what I say. But the way most of these things work is by making your stomach, your uterus, whatever it is, a hostile environment, so these things can no longer survive in it. When you cut out sugars for 2 weeks, your stomach becomes a hostile environment to the sugars because they can't feed on sugars or the sugar bind. There's bacteria in your gut that feed on sugars. When you don't eat sugars, these your stomach becomes a hostile environment for these gut bacteria, and they can no longer survive in your stomach because there's nothing to feed them. I didn't take the activated charcoal, and before you take my word on it, go do more research on how ivermectin actually works. Ivermectin in particular. I'm not sure about ivermectin in particular, but there's a bunch of other parasites, dewormers, things, and they effectively all work the same way. Ivermectin may be different. But yeah, for me, like this is not something that I would want to do every day or even every month. Maybe like once or twice a year, and I probably won't end up doing that. But I would look into like any kind of long-term research you can find that's not funded by ivermectin. Any kind of
Oh, yeah. Because then they'd be biased. Yeah.
yeah, any kind of other parasite cleanses. Like one that is really good that I've heard of is like taking plasma fasting, Plasma is just water and salt, and there's a certain ratio that you have to do to get it to be the same salinity as like blood, like plasma, and you just drink that in the mornings when you wake up, and that'll induce diarrhea, which will make your gut microbiome a hostile environment and then kill off parasites. To me, that sounds a bit better than ivermectin, but you'll have to look into it because, of course, I haven't really studied up on this. This is just the pathways that my brain is taking. I do cook good food. Thank you, Sandy. Okay. Is there anything else? Any other questions?
um, that I see. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Alea. So, okay. Yeah, anything else? Anything you want to talk about or anything like that, or um, anything outside of carnivore? How about how's your channel doing? How's your? I know you do a lot of lives and stuff. So how's that going on for you?
Oh, so my channel is doing okay. It's been gaining a lot of subscribers, but honestly, slower than I'd personally like it to be. Um, but yeah, it's going steady, and that's better than it decreasing, right?
Yeah.
But I have two channels now. One is my carnivore channel, and then the other one is a bit different. It's a bit into politics. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit conservative, but it's a bit funny too. I like watching haters fight me. It's hilarious to me. It brings me joy. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to follow me on there too. Which I'll probably I think it's linked in my carnivore YouTube channel. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you guys follow me on Instagram? That's so
Oh
nice.
yeah, no, I see you on Instagram.
I don't pay much attention to Instagram. I probably should. That's where I meet a lot of people, but I'm
Right.
just there's so many people on Instagram for me to like pay attention to who. Oh, my YouTube channel. So my carnivore one is Aaliyah underscore the underscore carnivore. It's super simple. You can't
And
find.
actually, if you go into my descriptions on this particular thing, you'll be able to click right onto it.
Oh
So.
yeah, Thomas has got it linked.
Mhm. Um,
Yeah, I may not have the link to the other channel posted in the bio, but after this I can go do that.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But
Um,
I don't remember the username right now, or else I would tell you guys.
yeah, I'm not sure if I have. Let me check and see. I usually try to do like anything I know about. I didn't. I thought you had another channel, but I didn't know everything about it. Oh
I'm
wait,
not
okay,
trying. I'm trying to separate them for the most part because obviously people have different opinions, political views, whatever,
right. And you
and
have to be
I
careful
don't
that
want.
when you're doing politics, you have to be careful of that.
Yeah, I don't want
Um,
that to affect what I'm doing on carnivore. That's why I kind of separate them.
yeah, so I actually linked into my thing. So just go into the thing. I linked for my guest information, which would be you. I linked your YouTube, your Instagram, your TikTok, and a link to your book.
Oh yay, that's awesome. Yeah, go buy my book. Go buy my book.
So, and then also too, I've added a new link for myself. Anybody interested in being on here, um, and just telling about themselves. I don't know how much fun Ollie is having right now, but I think it's a pretty cool thing for people to be on. So, just there's a link right to the calendar. You guys can pick which day is the best day for you. I usually do Tuesdays and Saturdays is the days that I am trying to do. So, you know, um, so I mean, we're not fully done yet unless you have something you need to do. But I'm having a good time with you. How do you pronounce your name? I keep on saying Alia. Obviously, it's not Alia because
Yeah, it's
Alia is
not
Alia.
Aaliyah.
It's Alea?
It's Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Okay.
Yeah.
Aaliyah. Okay. If I if I forget again, just charge off to being old and once you turn 50, you start forgetting things. So,
They're talking about kielbasa, hickory smoke beef sausages in the comments from Sam's Club.
yes, I just noticed that.
What do they
Um,
taste like? I've had like Polish kielbasa, but I don't know like what the one ingredient beef one would taste like. Like, does it actually taste good? Because I'm always concerned that stuff
I
like
like
that
it.
won't taste good.
I like it with a really spicy mustard,
Oh yeah,
like a really
maybe.
hot mustard. Yeah. Um, but I haven't had kibasa in a long time because for the past like 4 or 5 months, I might have like chicken
Oh.
every once in a while, but I haven't really had. Kibasa is the brand name, but still, I I mostly have the chicken. like every once in a while, but most like 90% of my meals is hamburger meat or steaks, you know.
Yeah.
So
A lot of my meals are heavy cream right now. I'm trying to do high fat, so we're gonna see what happens.
I mean, I hope
Kielbasa's are
you
pretty.
eat
Yeah,
more
they
than
are a
just
little
heavy
pricey. Are
cream.
they like sausages or like kielbasas?
Yeah, kind of like big sausages, like bratwurst almost, but
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I like stuff like that.
yeah. Um, yeah, Ricky says they're a little priced. $18 for the package for 14 of them.
That's not
That's
awful.
no, because what you're talking about, like what, $1.25 or something like that, average for each one.
That's about how much
So,
hot dogs are.
yeah.
At least good quality hot dogs.
Yeah. And if you really don't eat that, unless you eat all 14 in one sitting, and that $18 is gone like within seconds. But if you actually, I mean, if they're as big as if they're as big as I remember, the most I would eat is maybe 3, most likely 2. And so if you do 2, that's 7 days. If you do 2, that's 7 days worth of meals.
Yeah.
Right there, and because I like them, but I don't think I could eat like 2, 3 meals every day. I'd have to like eat something else, and then maybe next day I could have. So
yeah, you're definitely right about that.
yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, one thing about carnivore is it's a lot cheaper than doing the SAD diet because of all the things you're not doing anymore.
Yeah,
But it
definitely.
can still be a little pricey too. So you got to find tricks of the trade. Find where there's sales. Find where there's packages. Like I go to Walmart myself. I get burgers by the box, and they're just beef and salt. That's basically all burgers have. I don't even think they have salt. I think I have to add the salt. And she's asking you how the fat fast is going.
Oh well, I just started it today, so I don't really know. I haven't done anything except drink coffee today. So
You
I
got to
have heavy cream in my
start with
coffee, but
something,
yeah,
right?
it's decaf. But yeah,
Um,
I have to. I'm trying to do it alternate day fat fasting. So I guess
that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing an alternate day fat fast, but I am doing an alternate day fast. So I'm
yeah.
on. This is my 5th fast day. But I did actually. I'm going to correct that. My 4th fast day, but because I cheated the other day, I kind of went off the fast. I still have like depression issues, like sad issues and stuff like that, and I just was a little sad about something. And when I used to get sad, I would go right to the cupcakes and candies, and I would cheat. This time, my cheat was I'm just going to go off the fast and have some burgers. That was my cheat. So
Yeah, that's.
just like you said before, it depends on what you're cheating with and stuff like that. So gotta
I'm
pick your
pretty sure
battle.
Dr. Ken Berry says if you're gonna cheat keto. Don't cheat don't cheat
Right,
standard American.
right.
Which I'm with
I mean,
that,
I
as long
always
as you're not having like maltodextrin or sodium
Yeah, I mean,
phosphate.
this is what I kind of believe. I don't believe in cheating at all. If you can not cheat, but sometimes you just go off the rocker. Sometimes you go off the track. And I think what most of our problems is this: when we cheat, we kind of punish ourselves. We kind of like say like, "Oh, I cheated, so I'm no longer a carnivore. My life is over." Maybe not my life is over, but what's the point in doing this? What's the point in going in that direction? So I think that if you're going to cheat, like if there's a reason why you're cheating or a reason why I'm not even going to say cheating because I agree with Rick that cheating is where you're helping yourself and you're not really helping yourself. I would say that you're more indulging, you know. But if you're gonna indulge, just go back. Go back to what you were doing. If you know what you're doing was helping you, especially if you have symptoms. If you have like bad symptoms after indulging, then go back to it right away. Go back to what you were doing and go back. But the thing is most of us have indulged and we're like, oh well, like what's the point? I'll just get back next week. I'll just get back. No, the moment you realize that you indulged, go back. the next meal should be carnivore. The next meal should be something better, and that's just my opinion. But
Yeah, I think if you do a cheat meal on carnivore, like it should be a cheat meal. That's it. Or like a cheat cookie. Like,
right,
like if you're gonna eat one cookie every week, one Oreo cookie, I would rather you do that than have a full on cheat meal.
right.
Right. Because
I mean, I
it's a consistent toxin load, and your body can consistently get rid of it.
I'm trying to move these things up a little bit. Sorry about that.
But yeah,
Um,
like I don't think cheat meals are good. I honestly think they're quite harmful. Now,
yeah,
that being said, I will cheat keto a lot of the time because I like keto cheesecake that's like 95% carnivore, but maybe I put like cocoa powder or something in it, right? That I'm fine with because I know myself and I know that these things aren't going to give me symptoms. They're not going to trigger me. And that's what we should be worrying more about is this triggering? Is this going to cause symptoms? Is this going to upset your brain? Is this going to, cause an imbalance somewhere? Instead of like, oh, I just need a cheat meal. Like, come on, guys. You can have a little bit more willpower than that, right? Like, I'm probably going to make the worst coach because I'm like, are you serious? Like, because I went through that stuff and I'm like, me looking back, like, through all the cheat meals and stuff that I'd done, I would not do it the same way,
well, that brings up an interesting point, right? That you just did, an interesting segue. Um, you're in the coaching course, right? With me and a bunch of others that are here. Um, I personally feel that like I love the coaching course. I love what I'm learning. I don't know how you feel, but I sort of feel though, and this might be just my brain. I don't like it's not that I'm stupid or anything like that, but I'm the type of person that when I'm studying something, I really need to study it. I really need to learn it, and it just feels like it's like sort of like speed learning. It's like with me now working and everything like that. Even though I don't work that many hours, me doing everything I'm doing, it's hard for me to just continually read, and to read so much. And so I think I've learned a lot. I believe I learned a lot. I know I've learned a lot. But I kind of think I don't really want to titleize myself as a coach until I've really absorbed the information, if that makes any sense. So to take that information that we got, all that material that we got, and I just kind of want to still be even after everything's done, I still want to keep on learning it. Like I'm not ready to just put in my name that I'm a coach. I know some people have, and that's great, and everything, but I just don't feel that I've learned enough to do that, in my personal opinion. There's still things that elude me a little bit because I never really had an interest in these things. I'm kind of like a caveman when it comes to carnivore. Meat good, vegetables bad, type thing, and and I know there's more essence to it. I get that. That's not, it's just the simplicity actually makes it easier for me, if that makes any sense. It makes it easier for me to stick with it. And when too much confusion goes on, I'm sort of like, okay, and but I do know that I need to be able to explain certain things, like why is cholesterol so much better than we had originally thought? The stories and everything. And I know a lot about Ansel Keys. I know about the 7 Day Adventists. I know all this stuff that I did not know when I first started carnivore. 9 months ago or so. But how do you feel how do you feel about the coaching course in itself? Do you
Um,
feel that you want to titleize yourself as a coach right after the thing is done with,
oh yeah, I've
or
already put in my bios that I'm a coach in training. Just for me, coaching is not about knowing everything, being all knowing, being perfect. It's about continuing to learn. What makes you a good coach? Willing to learn. A client comes and asks you, hey, I have this problem and I'm having these symptoms. This is what I'm eating. What should I do? Say they're eating animal based. Okay. Well, let's look into what are you eating day to day? What's your morning? What's your evening? What's your dinner? What are you snacking on? I'm having coffee. I'm having mangoes. I'm having beef. Whatever it is. And then you look at their meals and it's not, oh, let's get you on carnivore. Let's evaluate. How are you feeling? What are you doing? How does are you having sugar cravings? Are you tired? Are you taking electrolytes? Let's figure out what they can do outside of diet before we go into diet. Because a lot of people come to you for diet, but they also come to you for support. And maybe they don't want to just change diet, they want to also look at everything else. So I think the best way to be a coach is to just be open to anything, open to learn about anything. And if a client comes to you and says, I'm having this problem, I need help with this, and you don't know what to say, you say, oh, I don't know right now, but just for you, I will go do research, I will look at papers, I will go watch YouTube videos, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to send you all the stuff that I'm watching so that we can both think about it at the same time and come to each other with conclusions. And that's what's going to make you a good coach, not just being all knowing. You know, obviously we can't
Right.
know anything, but what we can do is give support and give our honest opinions and unsolicited medical advice or
Right.
health advice. And yeah, being like, you can't be a perfect coach. That's impossible. You know, there's always going to be something else going on. There's always going to be something more that you want to perfect. You're always going to want to make something better, something, you know, like coaches. A lot of people I've heard that I've asked, like, come on the channel, they're like, well, I'm not at my goal weight. I'm not, you know, skinny enough. My glucose isn't good yet. You know, this, and that. And it doesn't have to be, right? We're all learning at the same time, and as long as you have gotten somewhere, you've done something, you have something to share, you have support to give, those are the people who need to be coaches, right? It's not
Right.
about being perfect, it's about continuing to better.
Yeah, and you make a good point. I mean, I mean, how I feel is based on me, you know, and I don't deter anybody from, you know, like you even said that you put in that but you also mentioned too that you're a coach in training. You're honest about that. You're still learning to become the coach. You know, like you're not fully certified. You're learning how to do it. So that in itself, I actually I think I could wrap my head around that. You know, but I just don't feel like I can. I mean, I give general people like around, you know, like I don't really give them advice. Like if they ask me what I'm doing, I tell them. You know, I might correct them on some. Like I had this one incident the other day where somebody I know was told that eggs are no good for him. That eggs actually make you fat, you know, and I sort of like corrected that, like, you know, like, no, you know, like basically eggs are the best things for you. It doesn't even matter what eggs they are. They're full of nutrients, they're full of vitamins. You know, I didn't get like super into it, but just enough to be like, you know, I eat eggs all the time, you know, because I think he was sort of afraid that eating eggs, since I feed him eggs every day, and help him out in that particular way. I think he was afraid that the eggs were causing him a problem, you know, because somebody else made him believe that they were.
They
So
definitely can be for some people.
they can be, but I don't think that's his problem. You know, I think it's the carbs and the junk that he eats. You know, but you know, my point is you know, I try not to talk too much into it, but you know, I kind of I'm a firm believer that it's not eggs do cause a problem, but I think it's mostly the egg whites that cause the problem.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, I don't think the egg yolks really cause a problem. I
I've
think
heard
that the
people having fried eggs in butter causes a problem versus eggs cooked in like nothing or like tallow.
yes.
I don't know what causes that. I've just heard that before.
Well, I mean, I'm going to talk a little personally, okay? You know, a little bit of I do have bathroom issues. I had them a lot worse, and I found out. And I'm still. This is one addiction I do have. I'm addicted to butter, so I do still have like at least a half a stick a day in my coffee. But I found out I used to eat a lot more butter than that. I would have about 3 sticks a day. You know, so to go from 3 sticks to a half a stick is, you know, and I would cook it like, you know, put it with my steaks, put it with this, put it with that, and I was having really bad problems and everything. And it looks like Rick Charger Mopar just joined us, so that's And he actually says something that gives him a stomach ache. Boiled eggs can give him a stomach ache, so that's okay. Usually I don't hear you saying anything about any pain or anything like that. So we're starting to get some people in here, Aaliyah.
Well,
Um,
and then like fats in general shouldn't be like cooked because they turn rancid very quickly when you're cooked.
right. And
Um.
that's true, you know. But I think that I cook most of my stuff in lard now
Mhm.
because it's cheaper, or beef tallow, or you know. I mean, like I do budget shop, and lard is a lot cheaper than beef tallow is for the same size tub. Beef tallow is about $50, and then it's like about $20 for the tub of lard. So it's a big difference in
You should
price.
just save all your bacon grease.
I do that
Oh.
too. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't last very long because right after I make the bacon, that grease goes in for my steak or my burgers. So it's like it might last a day if I'm lucky, you know. But I do save both the bacon grease and the hamburger grease. So
I'm also like one person that's really like bad with like liquid fats. Like I was on like a week of just eating like air fried flank and short ribs every day, and that was like giving me diarrhea every day. I was like, I don't know why. I don't
right,
know why. Like, and it wasn't bad. It was just like a one off right after I ate. So I didn't really care that much because some things are delicious. But I think it was because of the fats being cooked, you know? And when I eat steak a lot of the time, I just sear the outside and it's like mostly rare on the inside, even if it kind of, it'll be a little bit of a different color just from the way I cooked it, but it's pretty much rare. And that gives me no issues. But, the flank and short ribs are like this thick. They're
right.
tiny. And yeah, like that's why I do a lot of heavy cream. I can do like straight tallow, I can do butter, but I can't do liquid fats either. Like they do give me digestive upset a
Well,
lot of the time.
and wasn't it Dr. Chafee that said about liquid fats that they kind of like cause because they're liquefied, so they go through the system a lot quicker,
Mhm.
and that's why we have the issues that we have. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, I've always had stomach issues, so I think my issues are a little bit more to that. And I was getting really, really bad because I used to have gastroparesis. I don't know if you know what that is or not.
No.
But gastroparesis is sort of like I guess you could say it's like almost like neuropathy, but in the stomach,
Mhm.
and it's where your stomach doesn't it pretty much doesn't hold the food in. So when you eat a lot, it eventually every morning it comes up and stuff like that, and you just can't hold it in. But it's just a lot of symptoms and stuff like that, and I was starting to get that back again. Like I recognize the symptoms. It's like I got rid of it. I used to take a drug called omeprazole to help control which is sort of like Pepcid. It's like it kind of like lowers the acid and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And it was just the omeprazole was giving me issues, but I needed it because of what I had, and I got off it, and I was finally like cleared. I had no problems. I was good. And all of a sudden, I took another drug, a GLP-1, and I took it under recommendation. And I unfortunately took it for like 5 weeks. Well, actually, not unfortunately, because if I took it longer, it probably would have caused even more issues. But it was starting to give me stomach issues. I was starting to recognize the symptoms. And me and another guy were talking, another carnivore guy. We're talking, and I brought it over. I brought it to Dr. Nelson's attention, and we all agreed that it probably was, since it's the number one cause of causing stomach issues, and since I had stomach issues, it probably was something that was causing the problem. So I just stopped taking it, and so far so good. Knock on wood. So um,
Yeah, a lot of these drugs like ibuprofen, Advil, omeprazole, you can really become dependent on them because they cause and effect, right? They cause you to feel better, but they also what causes them to make you feel better, like, is it more harmful? which is worse? Me, say I have a headache and I take ibuprofen. Which is worse? Me dealing with the headache, every 3 days, or me in 5 years having stomach ulcers and having holes in my stomach, right? Which one's worse? That's what you have to
Yeah,
decide,
I think the second
Um,
one's worse, right? And also too, what people don't realize is this. Like I've had lots of I've taken lots of medication, because of things that have happened to me and everything. But
mhm.
half of them I don't even remember what they're called. I'll be honest with you, because I never really. I know what they were called, but when time goes on, you're like, okay, that's in my past, and I'm not going. But I've taken many, many medications, many, many pain drugs, many, many things. And the thing I've learned, antibiotics, one thing I've learned is eventually those antibiotics, those pain drugs, don't work anymore.
Yeah.
They eventually, like like the whole effect of them is no longer there. So if you learn how to deal with the pain on your own, okay, in my opinion, that's going to become fixed. That's going to become where you get better and where you learn how to deal with it. And carnivore, it's not that carnivore took away pain. I still have pain in my leg when I walk, but it's nowhere near what it was before. And I think it's not just the fact that it's nowhere near where it was before, but my tolerance of it has improved. I'm not like crying anymore every time I take a step, and I'm able to get, I just finished a video. I put it out today of me doing a really long walk with a weighted vest. Last year, I would never have been able to do that. Okay. So, I think last year, I would not have been able to do that. So time flies by for me. Like 1 year goes by really quick. It's like, but, and but when you have the pain pills, like the antibiotics I had to take, they're like, oh, well, I don't think it's going to take for right now. Did, oh, I thought you left for a second there. Like, where'd you go? The pain, the antibiotic I took, the vancomycin, it didn't work after a while. It was like they had to switch me to a whole new antibiotic because the vancomycin was now, my body was used to it and it didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, my phone's on 2%, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
I kind of have to
Um,
go because like the audio is so bad right now. I can barely hear what you're saying.
oh,
Um,
that's fine. It was great having you, Aaliyah, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. And whenever you want me to be on your show, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to return the favor and to reciprocate. Um, just give me an email. Did we already set a date or no?
I can't remember. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm very happy for your success in all the ways. And thank you for coming on. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I'm going to stay on for just a few more minutes. So I'm not really
I
sure.
already fed him.
I'll see you later on. Thank you again, Elaine.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So, so I'm just going to stay on for a couple more minutes. So I just want to, I had a feeling that there was something. Um, yeah, so no, Slow. So you're admiring my good look. Excuse me. Thank you for that. Um, and okay, so Bill, you refused the ice because Dr. Barry said your body. Okay, all right. And hello, Tanya. How we doing? How we doing? You can't. You're trying not to look me at that way. Okay, Tanya. That's funny. Um, so I am just reading the chats. I do thank you guys for coming on. So I really don't have, at least I don't think I do. Oh, I don't know if anybody wants to come on here, do a little last minute just to fill in the time. And then I will pin it. Not for too long, just it's long enough. It's already 5:11. If anybody wants to come on and say hello, that'd be fine. I don't know if anyone. If Rick, hey, if you want to come on and sit and tell me how you're live with Juliet went, or if it's still going on. Okay. I'm just taking a look right now at that. It just ended. Okay. So how did your interview go and all that fun stuff? Let me just bring this down. Oh, I thought you were already subscribed to me. I'm sorry about that. You learn something every day, right? So I'm still on the phone uh, and everything. So let me just go back to my chewing the fat. Just so much easier. Well, I'm glad you don't like me that way either, Bill. I appreciate that. And oh, so Julie, okay. Oh, I'll probably watch the replay and everything. So I'm glad that it went well. I hope that a lot of people saw your interview. You don't do short appearances yet, no. I don't know if I could stay on for that long there, Gary. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Um, so it was historic. Okay. Well, you definitely will need to see it. I'm sorry that I missed it. Okay, you watch your news there, Bill. I'm hearing noise outside, so I'm wondering if they say it was supposed to rain today, but I'm not really sure. Yeah. I'm just not sure if it's actually going to rain today. So I know you have. I know you have. You're the interview king, Rick. You should pretty much charge admission to give advice for people that are going to be interviewed. To say like what the right demeanor is, how to be, whatever. You know, like, hey, I interviewed for 3 years. The king of the quacks. Yes. I mean, I strive every day to become a quack there, Rick. I still have a long ways to go. I'm just an apprentice. So, so I'm just looking at. Ah, okay. Sorry about that, George. Trying to get you on there. Hey, George, how you doing?
Not bad, Thomas. How's my audio?
Your audio is fine.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been having a bit of trouble on StreamYard, but this isn't StreamYard, so maybe that's what the problem is. Anyway,
yeah. No,
great.
no.
Yeah, great chat with Ali earlier. But I was actually watching Juliet and Rick
I know.
earlier on. So
Yeah, sometimes scheduling conflicts just happen. You can't really help them.
Yeah, I know Juliet's switching to Wednesdays apparently, so that should rule that problem out.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess like I was trying to do 2 days a week because I forget who it was, but somebody suggested that I do more interviews. So that's why I kind of combined things together and sort of ended up because of the suggestion. And for the life of me, I do not remember who made the suggestion, but unfortunately, it just made it where like, okay, now I need to kind of fill in the space that I just kind of like folded over in the sandwich. So, you know,
Yeah, the
but
problem we're going to have going forward is that there's so many of us in the class now, and we're all expected to make our own channels. So we've
right,
got to really work very carefully around each other. It's going to be, I don't know,
yeah,
we're almost going to have to sort of like consult with each other before we book an interview. Because it's tonight it was four of my best friends in the carnival world all on at the same time: Juliet, yourself, Rick, and Alia. So it was a bit of a sort of rock and a hard place, really. So
yeah.
I thought, I knew that you would go on longer than Juliet, so I thought I'll watch Juliet and then jump on with you. So
Yeah.
here I
And
am.
I also figured too, and I said something to Aaliyah about it. I also figured that whichever way you go, you're going to be able to watch the replay of the other person. So it's not like you're not going to watch, And
Yeah,
what
it's
I
true.
always like to do, if there's something I really wanted to see and I'm missing it because of either myself or because of something else, and I want to see both, well, I'm going to make sure that I say something in the comments, even if
Yeah,
it's just, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I missed the live, whatever. It's at least I'm putting out there that, hey, I'm watching the replay.
yeah, exactly right. Supporting the channel, that's the
Right.
thing, the thing to do.
You know.
But I mean, it's like I was talking on the group earlier on, but Tuesday night's just crazy now because obviously we had Dr. Nelson at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then straight into both yourself and Juliet after that. Then there's a Healing Humanity Zoom call coming up next at the top of the hour. Last week, Mitch did a Tuesday immediately after Healing Humanity, but I don't think he's doing one tonight. I can't find him. But then, of course,
When I saw that in the chat of WhatsApp, I saw about Mitch, and I'm like, Mitch doesn't usually do a Tuesday night live at
yeah,
7.
he was. I don't know what happened last week, but he was definitely on because we went straight from the Healing Humanity live call it and into
Right,
Mitch,
that's on
and then
Thursday, not Tuesday.
No, it was definitely Tuesday because he overran into Russ Keto Cookout at 1:30 because I turned up to Russ about 1:40 in the morning.
When I missed that, I must have been asleep or something.
And I apologised to Russ, saying blame Mitch, and then Russ said, "I'll never blame my brother Mitch." It's
Okay.
So it definitely did happen.
I'm not, I'm not disagreeing with you. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I guess it's very unusual for Mitch to do anything that's on it. Usually his lives are have been Thursday night.
Unless it wasn't Mitch, unless it was one of us with Mitch on. That's another possibility because it was two people.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Juliet. Yes. That's very rare.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Was it
our
I'm
guy
talking about his actual membership lives. I'm like, I've never seen him do a membership live on a Tuesday. No, okay. Yes.
Yeah, so was it Mitch? Was Mitch the host? I think Mitch was the host, wasn't he? But I think he had Juliet on or somebody, one of us anyway.
No, it was actually Juliet's show, and she had him as a guest.
Right. Okay, that's the reason why then. Yeah, I was getting confused because I thought it was Mitch, but it wasn't. It was Juliet, the host, with Mitch on. So so last week we ran right the way through basically, and but tonight I don't think there's anything at whatever. Well, it's midnight my time, which go back 5 hours would be 7 o'clock your time. So I've got an hour and a half break now, in which I can catch up on some of the other stuff, and then we're into Keto Cookout at 01:30 my time. So yeah, it's a busy night as a season, right? To say the least.
All right, so Tanya Tiny Kitchen Witch, just said Mitch was on Juliet, and she confirmed it.
Now I remember.
And Kelly's here, Broken Carnivore. So hey Kelly, how you doing?
Yeah.
And then WE Network is here, and she's asking. I think it's a she. I'm sorry, WE, if I don't know if you're male or female, but I think you're female, if I'm not mistaken. Are there any time slots available for anyone else if I get brave enough? LOL. There's a lot. There's a lot of times. If you're talking about being on my channel, WE Network, I'd love to have you on. Obviously, okay. I do have some time slots in November, so just either email me and we'll talk about what dates are available exactly, and I'll do the filling in, or just go hit the link, and it should take you right to the calendar, and should allow you to be able to just pick a day of either Tuesday or Saturday yourself of whichever one's available. Hopefully it works, but
that's brilliant, Thomas. Because W Network has just given us her name, which is Ivy. It's really good when these people use their YouTube handles when we actually get to know their names. I'm actually got a list in front of me right now that I'm actually making a list of everybody's name as I gradually find them out, so that I can actually.
That's probably a good idea.
It is hard work. I mean, the thing is, because I've got such a weird surname, Good Enough, I don't really feel the need to use a YouTube handle, because everybody knows me as George Goodenough, so that's no problem.
Right. But, yeah. Well, your first name says it all, right? Now, I'm guessing Good Enough's not your actual last name, or is it?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a genuine surname. We're quite common around the world. In fact, in 2019,
it's the channel too, if you think about it.
Yeah,
like you're good enough. Like, I'm on Carnivore, and this is good enough.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, but the guy.
I just lost.
Always refer to is Professor John. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Well, you're going in and out. Like, it's sort of like someone's covering the mic every time, like every once in a while when you talk. Like,
okay. But I'll say the Good Enough that I always refer to is Professor John B. Goodenough from Texas University. He died now, but he actually won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 2019, and that was for work on the lithium battery. So yeah, we are.
That's cool.
We're more common around the world, even in America, than people think.
Yeah. I mean, just that being said, just to let you guys know, my last name is not Rib. Okay. So. just so you know.
No, it's double barreled. It's prime rib, isn't it? So
yeah. Nor is it Target prime rib. Like, Target's not my middle name, So, okay.
I mean, we got some great names out there. I think one of my favourites has got to be Ribeye Ranger, who's Jim Tucker down in South Carolina. Yeah. What a great name, Ribeye Ranger, because he was a mounted law enforcement officer. So it's really good.
And again, getting people on our channels. If he ever emailed me, I would definitely take him in a heartbeat. Him and Lynn.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Lynn for a year or more now, and she plays hard to get, as Lynn Tucker.
I hear she's. I mean, the only person that's probably harder than any of them would probably be Bill Knott. Would probably be the hardest person to get, but but yeah, there's just some people that just don't want, just aren't really, that you just have to kind of accept that they're not. If they do ever come on, then just accept that as like a prize, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything. Like, I've asked a few people several times, and they said no every time. So I just kind of gave up on it. But if they go to me later on and say, hey, that offer you made me, I could be on your show if you want. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, this is when the only problem is I try to book like in advance, because I want to make sure that my job, I have an agreement with my job. But sometimes they don't always go with the agreement. So I want to make sure that I have things booked to prevent, and I'm just over precautious. I just like to make sure. So if I can keep on booking, I would rather do that. I'd rather have it set so then I can do the thumbnails, I can do everything I need to do. And usually, like, as soon as this video is over, this live is over, I'm going to change it because I recycle my things. I have two of them. One set for now, and then the other one set for 4 days from now.
Yeah.
So I do each one. The Thursday, let's just say the Tuesday one and the Saturday one, and so I will do my next. I keep on saying Thursday. Sorry about that. My next Tuesday one, I'm going to do a thumbnail for it, and I'll put it out. And so I have two really great guests for my next to plug. Since it's my show, I guess I can plug myself. Yeah. My next guest is going to be on my birthday. So on Saturday is Mitch Russell.
Yeah, I've seen that. I'm actually going to a meetup on Saturday night, so I can't be there, which is disappointing. But again, I'll catch it in the.
Convince them to put it on the big screen.
I don't think so. It's a bit of a posh restaurant. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Myself and Lainey are going to go over and visit Stephanie Taylor on Saturday night. She lives in Wales. It's about an hour away from us, and we're going to go over and meet her in a hotel. We're staying in the hotel, and there's a couple of other carnivores coming from Wales as well. So it's going to be a nice little meetup. 7 of us going. So yeah, really.
Like I said before, watch the replay, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And just put in the comments, hey, I watched. I'm here. I see the replay, and that's just as valuable to me as you being there live. You know.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we got one or two really good comedians, really funny people out in the carnival world, and Mitch, as in Russ Mitchell, is definitely one of them. Right. CB Carmack as well he's a real character. Have you got him coming on anytime soon?
He hasn't. You know what? He's welcome. If he's here, he's always welcome.
CB's definitely booked in with somebody, one of us, but I can't remember who it is now because there are so many. It's Juliet. Yeah, that's right. Of course it is. Yeah. Juliet.
I'll give Juliet some credit on something. She's brand new, but she has booked a lot of good people.
Yeah, me included. Well, I'm a people. Yeah. I don't know about good people, but I am included.
I'm yet to be booked with her. Where am I? I have to check my records.
No, it's crazy.
I know I'm going to be with Amy, Rockin' Coach Amy.
Yeah, Amy. Yeah, Amy's a friend of mine on Facebook as well.
I don't know why it feels like I have something going on with Juliet. I just don't remember when.
Yeah.
So I have to put my calendar and see. I should have put in the calendar.
Yeah, but I know that
I'll double check. I'm so focused on getting people on my channel. It's always a good thing when you're on other people's channels, but it's hard to keep up. But
I can tell you've definitely got Stephanie on the 7th of October, and you've got me on the 14th of October. So those two are definitely confirmed.
And did you? I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen yet or not or heard, but do you know who's going to be on my Tuesday on the 23rd?
Probably, I can't remember.
Dave Mack.
Oh, Dave Mack. Oh, well done. He actually, he did get back to you then because because I reminded him when I spoke to him, and he did say that he'd already contacted you. So
now he will be 1 hour later than everybody else. Normally I do it at 4:00, but he's actually going to be at 5. So mostly because of what time it is in Japan for him.
Yeah, for sure, Osaka.
So. That way he can stretch a little bit more when he gets up in the morning, But, I mean, now I don't know who I have. Let me just double check real quickly. I actually have my computer open too, so I can watch the chats. Because it's a lot easier to read the chats from YouTube itself. I just have it on silent, that's all. So on the 23rd, I have Dave Mack, and then on the Saturday after, I have your partner in crime, John Laspina.
Really? Carnival teacher. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm going to try and get to watch all of these, but it's just not easy every time, especially Saturday night.
I would definitely watch your partner with the Sunday school.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good old John. Yeah.
And then the 30th, it was requested. And I guess it makes a little bit of ambiance. So I'm not sure. I think the thumbnail for it's going to be really, really cool. But it's it's a surprise guest on the 30th. No one knows who it is. I promised
Okay.
that person that I would actually keep it a secret up until the last second. So, and then the 4th,
go on.
will be Rick Charger. Rick Charger Mopar.
4th of October.
And we all know what kind of guest he is. And then that's when I get to the good people. I get to you on the 7th. I get to Stephanie.
Yeah, 7th Stephanie. Yeah.
And then the 11th is Renee Shove. I keep on forgetting her YouTube channel. Learning to Walk or something like that. Carnivore Learning to Walk.
Not sure.
She's in the Healing Humanity group, so you probably may or may not see.
Yeah, Renee. Yes, I do know who Renee is. Yeah, come think of it. Yeah.
And then this one guy, George Goodenough. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm sure he'll be really good. On the 14th. And then I have Lynn DeVokie on the 17th.
Lynn, that's a big name.
Yeah. And then I have Amy Perrin on the 21st.
Amy's Brisket Boomers. She's fabulous. She really is. I get on really well with Amy. We always have a good laugh on the WhatsApp group together. And
of course, on the 25th, I have Cindy DeMonch.
I met Cindy on Friday night. I haven't seen her before, but but I found her on Friday night. She was doing live.
She interviewed me a few months ago. She's pretty good. She's not really carnivore though. She's more keto, but that doesn't really bother me any.
Yeah, she was.
I'm carnivore, but it doesn't mean my channel's necessarily 100% carnivore. I welcome keto people too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She was interviewing somebody really interesting on Friday night. A girl called Jo Archer from Nottingham in England. Who is really bubbly, really good fun. But she's really interesting because she's low carb, but she's also using a GLP-1 agonist, Mounjaro. So I've actually reached out to Jo and I've invited her on Sunday School because we want to hear this story because she's having great success and she's not suffering the side effects. She's lost a lot of weight. She's also combining it with low carb and she's got her energy back and she's really funny. Now, I know that we don't approve of Mounjaro and the GLP-1 agonist, but I think it's
not that I don't approve of it. It's more that if it doesn't work, not everything's going to work for you. And, if you feel it's not working for you, then I wouldn't be doing it. If the Mounjaro was working for me, I would still be taking it. But it wasn't as close.
Yeah, I did forget. You did experiment with Mounjaro for a time, didn't you, I think?
Yeah, I did like 5 weeks, and it just and then on the 28th, Kathy Dixon
is the Reverend Kathy.
Yep, Reverend Kathy, and then going into November 1st is going to be Terry from my Terrific Life.
Oh, Terry. She puts it in capitals. The T. I know who you mean. Yeah.
And then on the 4th, I don't know if you can guess who's on the 4th. But on the 4th is going to be Dr. Nelson, 4th of November.
Oh, Dr. Nelson. Oh, he's great.
Yep. And then the 8th is going to be, I don't know if you saw my interview with Kat Herman, but her husband is going to be, I'm going to have him on the 8th, Bryce Herman. Yeah. And then we're going to fast forward. I don't have anybody for the 11th or 15th yet. And then I will have, on the 18th, I have Aaron Fallon.
Aaron's good. We like Aaron, yeah.
Aaron's very good. 22nd, nobody. Then the 24th, and yes, that's a Monday, but that's the only day he could do, is I have Kelly from Broken Carnivore.
I know Kelly, yeah. I'm familiar with him.
And then the 29th, nobody. And then December 1st, nobody. And then I'm going to just get into the December calendar part. Obviously, I'm reading the calendar. And then on the 6th, I have Kim Morrow.
Oh, Kim Morrow, yeah, she's a good friend as well. Yeah, she's brilliant as well. She really is. God, you've got some good names coming out there.
Yep. And then I have just 2 more people, and then I have all that space to fill in. I have Wanda Brown. I'm not sure if you know who that is. I know her from FBG, Wanda. Yeah. And then on the first,
it's G. She does a lot of work with Robin, doesn't she? Robin Heron. Is that the same person?
It might be. I have to. I'll look it up and see. I think I'm just not sure. Like I know she's from SBG, and and everything. And she was a little concerned about not being ready. So I don't know if how popular she's out there,
Okay.
but um,
Have you tried? Have you tried getting hold of Robin Heron, because she does? She came on Sunday School Carnival.
I did. I did message her, but I never got a response back.
Okay.
So, but that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes I get responses like a couple months later.
Yeah, it's true.
And then January 1st, on my carniversary, that's 1 year that I've been carnivore. I am. Why is my thing getting dark? Okay, hold on 1 second. Ooh, what the heck? Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So just a quick one. Terry has just put me right in chat, so thanks for that, Terry.
Oh, not the same girl. Okay. G Brown. Okay. So really quickly, because for some reason I don't know why, but there we go. Okay, that's good. Okay. Also, my phone got really dark, so it was like, you know. So January 1st is John Mann.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Carrie's wife.
Big name. Yeah, you got some big names there.
I do. But, I mean, it's just about filling the spaces. You know, I got a lot of blank spaces there. And what I do with those spaces, if I can't get anybody, then I don't know. I'll figure it out. But, you know, I'm trying to work more on myself. So I want to keep on going. But worst case scenario, if I can at least get everybody filled in before January 1st, and if January 1st is my swan song for a short while, then that is what it is. But you know, I mean, I really want to focus more on me too. It's not really just about, you know, it's about giving myself enough time to do things and to not, not, because I do put a lot of time into doing this, and I sort of like on the computer like a lot. If I'm, I try to do walking, so I want to do some more walking, some more, going out, some more just doing things,
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, my channel at the moment is I only use it for one take, basically news broadcast. But once we get once we get certificated on the course, I'm going to focus on getting better on YouTube. So I want to start doing chat shows and also going out and doing some filming and uploading that. So looking forward to that.
And Terry says to try Robin Heron again. She just finished her meetup, so I'll try her again.
Yeah, true. Have you tried Christy at Meeting Wellness? Lioness Lifestyle. She's from California.
No, I know exactly who she is. Yeah, she does the Lioness Lifestyle, when it's on, she does Lioness. I actually would like to get all three of them on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Just like the group. I know Ellie has said, she hasn't really said no to me. She's just said not right now because she was dealing with some things. So she just didn't feel right doing any interviews. What people don't realize is this: my interviews aren't like, if you're not full carnivore, if you're not, strict, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't want you on my show. It's not because you're carnivore, not carnivore, that I want you on the show. It's because I think you're fascinating. Exactly right. And people just don't realize that. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to get people to come on, because it's like they think their story doesn't matter. And the thing is small or big, your story matters. There's something about your story that's going to resonate with somebody.
Exactly. I think people are afraid of being judged because not everybody's a perfect carnivore, which is why I tell everybody my faults. I still drink gallons of black coffee, and I still drink non-alcoholic beer, but I'm having great success anyway. And I eat a lot of I don't eat any vegetable plants now, but it's all our own story, and it's more about characters. It's as much about characters as it is about the way we eat. Anybody who will come on your channel is obviously well aware of the carnivore world and the low carb benefits. So anybody who's willing to come on is obviously is a sympathiser at the very least. I mean, for example, our caterer, my butcher, he's a real carnivore fan, but he's not a carnivore himself. He's close to it now, but he's but he's an absolute supporter of carnivore. He's seen what's happened to me. He's seen me go from £293 down to 170, and he tells the whole world about me and about how good carnivore is. So, but so he's a carnivore, a friend of the community without necessarily being a full-blown member of the community. Actually, one of these days, we need to get him on as well, actually, because he's really good, a really good chap. So I'm going to go and see him on Thursday. I might see if he would be willing to do some interviews, because he would definitely be a very good character to have on.
Well,
so
I'm going to add something to the chats right now from YouTube. I am listening. It's easier for me to type it into the YouTube chat than it is for me to.
Hey, CB's in the chat. Give him a shout, Thomas. Say, get on my channel.
Yeah, CB, I just put in, CB, copy this down. I just put in my email address. So CB, WE Network, Ivy, Terry, if you can give your friend, because I'll be honest with you, I never heard of Denitra Davis, but I'd love to interview her, and I'll take a look at her. If she has her own YouTube channel, I'll take a look at her in there just to see what she's like and stuff like that. I'm pretty much, I get a lot of people most of my people are people I do know, the people I do recognize, but every once in a while you get somebody that comes on, it's like, oh yeah, that seems interesting. Like I got another girl that I saw the other day on I'm trying to think of the channel I saw her on. Oh, it might have been Amy's. It might have been her last guest, Kendra. I think that was on Amy's channel. We emailed back and forth, and and she and we're going to pick a date. We just haven't picked it yet. I gave her the options of what I have and stuff like that. Obviously I'm going to try to get her in as close to the beginning as I can, but so hopefully I'll have her coming on soon. And I'm always open to do, because most of the time I just kind of like let you guys tell your story. That's basically the premise of the channel. Every once in a while I do have to come in and I do talk and stuff like that. Not incapable of talking, but really the purpose of it's called Showing the Fat. So it's for you to tell your story, and and we do talk and everything like that. I like it more one-on-one, because you and me are talking back and forth. Sometimes if it gets more than one-on-one, sometimes what happens is, and it always ends up being me, ends up getting lost in the mix, exactly. And so I kind of like it to be, I gotta see that, Terry. Terry, I keep, for some reason, my head keeps on wanting to say Terry Sue, because we do have a Terry Sue, but we also have two other Terrys. So I know you're not Terry Sue.
Yeah, we got Terry B and Terry P, haven't we, as well? So
Terry,
it gets confusing.
Terrific Terry, and we got.
Thanks, Sandy, for the comment. Right, Thomas, I've got to tell you, it's 15 minutes now until the Healing Humanity Live, so I've got to jump off. Because I've got to go and make myself another double espresso.
And I'll probably be going on Healing Humanity Live too. I'll probably be doing it from my computer though, because my phone needs to be full. My phone needs better charging, so I probably won't have my camera on, but I'm going to probably go on and see.
CB's just telling us about his one-on-one with Juliet. But CB, you're on. You've crept into the chat here now. This is like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave until you book in with Thomas. So anyway, I've booked in with Thomas, so I'm entitled to leave. So I'm about to say goodbye, and I'm going to see everybody over on Healing Humanity Life. Or failing that, I'll see you on the Keto Cookout a bit later on. Bye, everybody.
All right, that's cool. Thank you, George, for being on. I appreciate that. I'm going to be ending soon too, so then I can join in on the Healing Humanity Life. I thank you guys for coming on. don't worry about being late. Better late than never. Okay. I do value everything you guys do and everything like that. I hope you saw my video of me walking the long way around with the weight vest. I know I didn't film the whole thing, but that's only because my camera only allows me to upload so much, so many minutes worth of video, so at a time. So it just didn't make sense to do that. So and I will have a short coming out tomorrow that I hope is somewhat inspirational, that will come out. And I have another video coming out, also. So just another short, nothing bad, you know. But just I'm trying. I really am. But just keep on trucking, just keep on moving, keep it step by step, And so, thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy, do I look a little tired? I probably feel very tired, but it's a good tired. It's a tired of, I think I might have a slight cold or something. So, um, and my sugars are a little high right now. They're at 170. Been 170 for quite a while, so I'm going to probably take some insulin. And I do appreciate you guys all coming on. CB, I don't know if you heard or not, but I'd like to have you on my show, on my channel. So please email. That email was for you and others too, but mostly for you. Email me and we'll set up. I'll tell you what days are the soonest days, and we'll set up something as soon as possible. All right. Obviously, I do Tuesdays and I do Saturdays. I hope you guys are able to come on Saturday to see me and Russ Mitchell. I keep on reversing the name and saying Mitch Russell, but it's Russ Mitchell. We all know who Russ is. Homesick Buckeye. Thank you, CB. I appreciate that. I'll be looking for it. But basically, I'm going to have that at 4 o'clock. So that's going to be my actual interview. And then hopefully that will last for the full 2 hours, like always. And then 2 hours later will be my party. Okay. So I will put in the thing on there that people can join me. I'm hoping I have my computer by then, but if not, we'll figure out something, because the computer will help me be able to definitely have more than one guest. And it's going to be a celebration. I know not everybody thinks of their birthday party as a celebration, but I don't really have a big family, and I was in the hospital. I didn't have this last year, so it's sort of a big deal to me to celebrate the 9 months that I've been so far, and celebrate how my life has been so far. So it's a celebration. It's getting together, and I don't know if you want to. While we're having the party, if you want to have some late night steak, go right ahead. Okay. Um, or if you want to have an imaginary cake in my honor, just make sure it's imaginary and not real. I don't want to take that responsibility of you having cake for me. Unless it's a steak cake. Okay. So, like I've always said before, yeah, I mean, so many people, Terry, is having birthdays in September. I mean, my grandfather was a September baby. Actually, next year, on September 8th, he will have been 120 years old if he was still alive. I was doing the math, actually. Next year, on the 26th, he will be 100. He would have been 120 years old. If he was carnivore, he might have still been alive. Who knows? That's a joke. I don't really think he would be, but CB, your mom's is on the 6th. That's Alia is today. Okay, and then I think somebody else was saying in the chats on Mitch's thing that his was like like tomorrow or something, or something like that. Oh, and Coach Lisa Pickard was today too. I saw on Facebook, and I wished her happy birthday. So a lot of birthdays, you know. So Terry, your daughter, and your daughter-in-law is both in September. So that's pretty cool. And your mom is also carnivore. That's probably because she's smart enough because she was born in September. So she sees um, everything. She sees how well you're doing. So it's like that makes sense, you know. So all right. So this was a great live, and I'm not just saying that because they pay me to. Because guess what? They don't pay me to. So but you know, 6 o'clock starts. George made a good point that 6 o'clock starts the Healing Humanity. I probably will try to go on that and just say hello to everybody. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're a few minutes late, but you know, but I do just really quickly. I didn't get the ingredients to do it now, but I might for my carniversary. I might try Bella's carnivore cheesecake. You know, take a look at that because I like the idea that it has carnivore crust. So I think that would be kind of cool, you know. So I will see you guys soon. And just like I ended everything, live, love, heal, and for God's sakes, if you're gonna celebrate, celebrate with me. I'll see you guys later.